You want to know why most men lose? It's not because they're weak. It's because they're distracted. Distraction, that's the modern disease, the new poison, and it kills more dreams than fear ever did. You see, a man doesn't need to be beaten to lose. He only needs to look away. One moment of lost focus, and everything he's built begins to crumble. I've seen men with talent, with potential, with fire in their eyes. They start strong, but somewhere along the way they get pulled off their path by noise, by people, by comfort. And when that happens, they don't even hear it at first. The sound of their downfall. It's quiet. It starts as a whisper. Then one day, they wake up and realize they've wasted years chasing things that never mattered. I learned this the hard way. Focus isn't something you're born with. It's forged. In silence, in pain, in repetition. It's a discipline built one decision at a time. When I came back from the war, I had one rule: no wasted motion. Every move, every word, every decision had to serve a purpose. Because focus is energy, and energy, once wasted, doesn't return. Let me tell you something about focus. It's not about doing everything. It's about cutting the unnecessary, cutting the noise, cutting people who drain you instead of sharpen you. Focus is not addition, it's subtraction. You think control comes from having more. It doesn't. Control comes from needing less. The fewer things that hold your attention, the sharper your vision becomes. And when your vision sharpens, the world slows down. You start to see through people, through distractions, through lies. You become dangerous. That's why most men run from focus, because when you start to focus, you see the truth about yourself, about others, about the life you've built, and most men aren't ready for that kind of clarity. They prefer confusion. It gives them an excuse to stay weak. But not you. You're still here listening, and that means you've felt it, the pull of something greater, a hunger to become unshakable. So listen closely now, because this part is important. Focus isn't just mental, it's physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. Your mind follows your habits follow your priorities, and your priorities follow your focus. When you wake up, the first thing you touch, the first thing you think about, that's your direction. So, if your first thought belongs to distraction, your day is already lost. But if your first thought belongs to discipline, to purpose, then you've already won. I remember nights when I'd stare at the map, cigarette burning between my fingers, the whole room silent. Every plan, every move, every risk built from focus. One distraction, one wrong call, and the empire would fall. That's when I realized something. Focus is war. Every day you're at battle with noise, with your phone, with people, with doubt, with fear. And if you don't choose your target, the world will choose it for you. The moment you lose focus, you give control to someone else. They decide how you feel. They decide how you think. They decide how you move. and a man without control is already dead. So train your mind to focus, like your life depends on it, because it does. Cut distractions like enemies. Protect your attention like gold, because your focus is the gateway to power. If you master your focus, you master yourself, and the man who masters himself cannot be ruled by anyone. So let me ask you something. What are you focused on right now? Your growth, your mission, or the noise? Every second you spend unfocused is a second you'll never get back. And one day, when the clock runs out, you'll look back and realize that time didn't defeat you. Your distraction did. Don't let that be your story.
You think focus is about staring harder, working longer, grinding louder. It's not. Focus is quiet. It's invisible. It's what happens when you disappear from the crowd and move in silence. Most men think they can focus while surrounded by noise. They can't. You can't build an empire with one hand reaching for your phone and the other holding your purpose. You must choose. That's why I walk alone, not because I enjoy solitude, but because it's the only place where clarity lives. In the quiet, I hear what the world is too busy to notice. I see what others ignore. I find answers that only come to men who are willing to shut out everything and everyone. Distraction is a test. It's the universe asking, "Are you serious?" And most men fail. Because focus requires sacrifice. You can't focus on everything. You can't chase everyone. You can't please both your ambition and your comfort. The price of focus is isolation, and the reward is power. I remember sitting in my office, cigarette smoke coiling through the air like ghosts of bad decisions. The room was silent, except for the ticking of the clock. That sound, that was my reminder. Every second that passed was a choice, work or waste, discipline or delay, progress or comfort. That's what most men don't understand. Focus is not something you wait for, it's something you decide. You don't find it, you earn it. Every day, you wake up and choose between progress and pleasure, between growth and gossip, between building or being distracted. And your choice decides your destiny. The world will not reward your effort, it will reward your results. And your results depend on your ability to focus through chaos. I've seen men break, not because they lacked skill, but because they couldn't silence the noise long enough to execute. They were addicted to movement, to noise, to validation. They needed someone watching, someone clapping, someone agreeing. But focus doesn't need applause. Focus needs isolation. That's why most men never achieve greatness. They're terrified of being alone with their purpose. The truth is, the deeper you focus, the more the world will test you. Distractions will come disguised as opportunities. Comfort will whisper your name in the voice of your fears. People will mock your silence. They'll say you've changed. They'll call you arrogant, cold, detached. But what they're really saying is that they can no longer control you. Because focus makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability makes you dangerous. When a man is focused, he moves different. He doesn't chase, he attracts. He doesn't argue, he observes. He doesn't react, he calculates. That's what separates a boy from a man. A boy moves where emotion pushes him. A man moves only when purpose demands it. That's why I always say, control your attention and you control your world. The moment you allow your attention to scatter, you become a slave to whatever steals it. Every notification, every distraction, every opinion, they all take a piece of your power. But when you learn to withdraw your attention, when you hold it close like a loaded weapon, suddenly you're no longer reactive. You're deliberate. You're in command. That's how focus becomes a weapon, a silent weapon. Because while the world chases attention, you're mastering yours. While they shout, you plan. While they scroll, you strike. And when you move, it's already too late for them to react. That's how I built everything, not through luck, through focus, through choosing silence over noise, strategy over impulse, discipline over distraction. And if you want to rise, if you want to build something that outlasts your name, you must treat focus as sacred. Protect it from everyone, even yourself. Because your mind will try to trick you. It will whisper, "You've done enough," when you haven't even begun. It will pull you back toward comfort every time you push toward growth. But every time you resist that voice, every time you say no to distraction, you sharpen your edge. You strengthen your will. You remind the world that you are not like them. Remember this: the man who focuses for 1 hour a day on a single goal will outgrow the man who spends a lifetime chasing 100. Because mastery doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less, better, and longer than anyone else. Most people scatter their attention like confetti. You must treat it like a sniper's bullet. One shot, one target, no hesitation. That's how men like me survive in a world built to distract you. We aim, we lock in, and we never look away. Focus is not what you do. Focus is what you refuse to do. And the day you learn that, the day you guard your attention with your life, that's the day your power begins.
The final stage of focus isn't about isolation. It's about control. Once you've learned to guard your attention, once you've mastered the art of silence, the world begins to bend toward you. You see, the rarest thing in this world is focus. Everyone wants attention. Few can control it. And when you can control it, not just yours, but theirs, you become something else. You become inevitable. Focus is gravity. When you hold it, everything is drawn to you. Power, respect, opportunity. You don't chase, you attract. Not because of magic, but because of discipline. When I walk into a room, I don't speak first. I don't rush. I don't explain. Because focus commands presence. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't need validation. It just is. That's why the loudest man in the room is never the most powerful. He's the most desperate. He needs attention. A focused man doesn't. He already has it. Because silence draws curiosity, and curiosity gives you control. That's the secret most men never learn. You don't demand power. You earn it through focus. Your discipline makes them listen. Your calm makes them nervous. Your stillness makes them question their own. When you focus, you become the mirror that reflects everyone's chaos back at them, and they can't look away. because your order reminds them of their disorder. Your calm exposes their noise. Your purpose makes their excuses crumble. That's how focus becomes influence. It's not about speaking louder. It's about being unshakable in a world built on distraction. Let me tell you something about men who lose focus. They think life is a race. They run fast, burn out quick, and then wonder why they never arrive. But men like me, we move slow, deliberate. We don't rush, because we understand something they don't. Speed means nothing without direction. Focus gives you direction. Direction gives you leverage, and leverage builds empires. Every decision, every deal, every step, I take them as if I'm playing chess, not dice, because focus removes luck from the equation. When you're focused, you don't rely on chance, you rely on clarity, and clarity never betrays you. Most men wait for motivation to strike, but focus doesn't need motivation. Focus is the blade you sharpen when the lights are off. It's the discipline you practice when no one's watching. It's what you do when the world sleeps. That's why when the time comes to act, you don't hesitate, you execute. Focus is the weapon of the patient, the art of holding fire until the perfect moment. The difference between chaos and control is measured in seconds, and those who can wait win. When you've mastered focus, you don't chase opportunities, you create them. You don't hope for luck, you make precision your strategy. And soon, people start to orbit around your energy. They study your stillness. They try to imitate your calm. They whisper your name. And in that silence, your power multiplies. That's when you realize focus is not just about control, it's about creation. Because when your mind is clear, your path appears. When your energy is undivided, your progress compounds. And when your attention is sharp, you cut through the noise like a blade. Remember this. You cannot control the world. You cannot control others. But you can control your focus. And the man who controls his focus controls his fate. That's the code. That's the law. That's the way I built everything. Not through chaos, through control. And you, sitting there, listening to these words, you have two choices now. Keep scattering your attention like dust in the wind, or gather it, sharpen it, and wield it like a weapon. Because the truth is this. Your future is already written in what you focus on today. Where your focus goes, your life follows. So ask yourself, what are you feeding your focus to? Distraction or discipline? Comfort or control? Noise or purpose? Whatever you answer, that's the man you're becoming. And if you've listened this far, I know which kind of man you want to be. Now take these words and make them real. Every second from this moment on, guard it, own it, direct it, because your focus is your fate. And when you master it, no one, not time, not luck, not fear, will ever own you again. If these words resonated with you, write it in the comments. I will master my focus, because a decision written is a destiny chosen. And if you're ready to sharpen your mind, to step deeper into this code, then like this video, share it, and subscribe to this channel. Because men like us, we don't talk about focus, we live it.